Is your internet speed as fast as it can be? I recently found out I was paying for more bandwidth than I was getting, but it wasn't the fault of my internet service provider. It turned out to be my cables. I'll show you how I found that out and how I fixed it in this video. To find out what speed you're actually getting, open your internet browser, type in speed test, and click the button that comes up on the search page. It will then test your upload speed and your download speed and tell you how fast it's going. I used to think I was capped at 100 megabits per second, and I was getting about 90. Well, I was talking to my internet service provider and they said, no, you're good up to 250. Let me show you how I found out where the bottleneck was and how I tested it. Brought my laptop out to the garage where our internet comes into the house. I can plug in a little piece of network cable, unplug the one going into the house and plug directly into that, do a speed test. It's a lot faster coming directly from the modem. The next thing to check is where this cable goes to. This port is where that cable runs to in our house. So I'm going to unplug that, plug this in here, do another speed test. It's good to this point. Now from here, I've got a line running over to the router. We have our router located central in our house, so the wireless signal can reach most of the house without any problems. I take the cable that's plugged into that, plug that directly into my laptop, and we'll do the test again. When I did this test the first time, I discovered that the cable running from that port to the router lost all the bandwidth. The way I fixed that was to put new connectors on the network cable and test it again. Here's a quick note about Ethernet cables. Ethernet cables are the cables that you use to connect your computer to the internet. The type of cable determines how much bandwidth it can handle. I've got Cat 5e cables. Those should be good up to 1,000 megabits per second, but I was only getting about 90 to 94. So I decided to put new connectors on the ends of it and see if that worked. Then as soon as I did, my bandwidth more than doubled. I've got the same problem with the cable that goes from the router back to the computer that my wife uses. I'm going to do the same thing on that cable. If you're going to be doing a lot of these, you'll want to get a tool like this. I'll put a link in the description where you can get the tool just like this one that comes with a tester and connectors and a lot of other goodies, and it's not that expensive. If you're like me and you're only doing this once in a while, go find a neighbor like I did. Is that okay if I borrow that from you?
Yeah, I hear you're doing some wiring at your house.
Yeah, I'll have these back to you later today.
Okay.
Thanks, Roger. Because we're changing this one, we're going to start by cutting off the old one. This tool has a place where you can put that through and squeeze it down until it comes off. There's another section on this tool that cuts off the outer jacket of the cable. So we're going to go for about 1 inch in. So I want about 1 inch sticking through there. Clamp that down and just rotate it a little bit. What this is doing is it's cutting the outer jacket, but it shouldn't be cutting any of the underlying wires. The next thing you want to do is untwist those and straighten them. There's a green and a white, a brown and a white, orange and white stripe, and a blue and white stripe. There's an electromagnetic field around the outside of the wire, so while electrons are going through it, it makes a magnetic field. Well, it creates interference, but if you twist them together, the interference cancels each other and the signal's better. That's why they're in twisted pairs. In the United States and in Asia, there's a convention for the order of these. If you get a tool like this, it shows you what that convention is. Here's a graphic that shows what it looks like. Take these wires, put them in that order, and then we're going to feed them through these little RJ45 connectors. That's an RJ45 connector. So there's a total of 8 pins with the 8 wires. I got to do this with my glasses on. And this was the most frustrating part. The order we want these in is listed right here. They've got to go in there like this, so I've got to get them close together and keep them in that orientation. The good news about this type of connector is it's a push-through connector. You can see if we've kept them in the right orientation when we pull it through. The retention tab on the bottom, we're going to feed these through into the back and push them up and just hope they come out the right hole. So far none of them are coming out any holes. Okay, because they're twisted. Some of them are starting to come out and others are not. Okay, so now I'm pushing them out. I want to push them up until this outer sleeve is encased in the back of the connector, but I also want to make sure I've got them in the right orientation. So I have white, green, and green switch places. Oh no, brown and orange they traded places, so this won't work, so let's try it again. If you're getting value out of this video, make sure you give it a like. That's the order. Now we'll try again. Okay, now we'll push it through. If you can see, they're coming out here. We want to push it until the cable goes up into the fitting. Now we're going to double check and make sure these are in the right order. So we have them where we want them. Fantastic. This one's for an RJ45, so that's the network one. That's the one we're doing. So we probably just want to twist them like that to make sure they come through. So now we've pushed them through here. We squeeze this until it clamps, and those get cut off. There we have it. Now we'll do the same thing on the other end. Put it in here, crimp it till it's cut, rotate it, untwist the pairs, straighten them out, put them in the order shown here. Okay, we're going to try cutting these wires. Now they're even. Now feed them through. Oh, we have to test. We have to test. Through here. And we should have two good connections. This channel is geared for young men growing up without a dad. If you're growing up and your dad's not in your daily life, download this free guide that will help you navigate life even though your dad's not there. This video relates to two of the milestones on that guide. See if you can figure out which ones they are. When you've got it done, you can test it before if you have a tester like this. That link I included in the description has a tester with it. We're going to plug it in here and plug it in here and hit the test button, and it does a test, and they're all green, so we should be in good shape. The acid test comes by plugging it into the router and into that computer, and we'll see what the speed test is. This is the speed we had when we did it before. Let's test it again with the cable re-terminated. Big difference. You can see the difference that it makes on the internet speed. Thanks, Roger. I appreciate it. Sorry it took me so long to get it back to you. Thanks.
You're welcome. Goodbye.
Now you know how you can check your internet speed, look for bottlenecks, and if it happens to be the cables, you know how to put new connectors on the cables and see if that fixes it. If you're a young man growing up without your dad, then make sure you subscribe to this channel for more tips, tricks, and positive encouragement. And remember, you can succeed even if your dad's not in your daily life, and you do have a dad that loves you. If you want to see a video about moving a router, then make sure you watch this video, and I'll see you on that video.